Yeah, I played drums with my dad. I started playing when I was 7 in my dad's band, and I played for him on drums because he was a full-time musician as well. And we played till I was 11. And New Year's Eve, 1965-66, I played with him, and it was his last gig because he took very ill, and he died 5 months later. But I played with him, and it was right at that time that he was sick, between January of '66 and May when he died, that he got this accordion. I don't know why, but he got this accordion in the house, and I started to mess around with it. Started to play the accordion, and next thing you know, I was doing the anniversary waltz, and next thing you know, I was doing Żałbia Banduru, and then I was doing some polkas, and by the time I was 13, I had my own band, and we started to play. And 1969, I was the ripe old age of 14, with Len Stashuk and a drummer named Steve Kreshko. We played our very first gig for Cholkan Real Estate at the Dutch Sisters as what was to become Buria. And we played from 69 till 79. And then in 1979, Roy Kostchuk and Irene Kostchuk at UNO decided that it was time we recorded. And Dr. Mike Kondratsky, dentist in Toronto, he decided to name the band Buria, so it was as good as any other name. December 19th, 1979, Buria recorded, and we were born. And it's been, I don't know, downhill, uphill, side hill, pushing a wagon up a hill with a piece of rope, whatever. It's been that ever since. And tons of musicians have come and gone. Some have died, some have not, some have left, some have come, and here I am. 47 years later, still doing this. Well, when we started playing, the bands were Rushnachok and Sinisty Pew, and it was an accordion, a guitar, a bass, and a drummer. And they'd play a verse, they'd sing a verse, they'd play a verse, they'd sing a verse. Those were the bands that were around then. And I grew up a little bit playing Polish polkas. And I learned these, what I call hot parts in polkas and waltzes, between these parts that we play. So I decided to incorporate that into the music, and it really, just on accordion, it sort of sounded So I got one sax player, and then two, and then three, and next thing you know, I got Jerry Prohorsky on fiddle playing for us, and Buria was a 7-piece band playing all these almost Polonized polkas. We slowed them down a little bit so that people could actually dance to them, and then after that came Solovey doing the same thing, only they had a trumpet, and Odnochasnist, who became Nove Pokolenia, and then there were just so many bands that spawned off of this. I guess they wanted somebody to go out there and test the waters before and see if I got killed, which of course we didn't, and one thing led to another, and then there were so many bands, and all sort of the same style, 2-3 horns, and doing swing stuff, doing the big Latin stuff, because you've got that horn section. Sure. Solovey was the big one with us at the time. They had 3 horns, and we'd often do festivals together, and we'd share the horn players. So the poor guys on saxes and trumpets were dying because they'd play with Buria, and then they'd play with Solovey when Buria took a break, and these poor guys couldn't get a break to save their lives. But those were great times, and the festivals were great at the time. And we started to record. We recorded Buria 1 and then Buria 3. And then we recorded Budhuny 2 after 3, and at that time I was a partner in Ukrainian Caravan, so I was working in there all the time as well, and the band sort of was led by Lenny for a little while, and then I went back out with the band, and it's just now a 7-8 piece band. The economy won't support a band that big anymore, and the thing is with our band is everybody in the band right now, the core of the band has always been full-time. It's what we've done for a living since 1977. And we do the Ukrainian stuff because we love it. Most of the living was done in the recording studios, film work, jingles for radio, television, stuff like that. But that whole scene has changed drastically now, and now it's now the next wave is the European sound that's coming in, and it's not just from Ukraine; it's coming from everywhere in Europe, Eastern Europe, Italy, France, and it's the first instrument they get rid of is drums. So they have no drums. They get a drum machine, and they're playing to tracks. And they have big bands, but they're not playing with drums anymore. And I like drums. I like live drums. It looks part of the show. It's part of the look. So times have changed, and everything now is programmed. Everything now is digital and lip syncing and playing to tracks. And we've never done that, and I don't have anything against it. It's just we've never done that. We've always been a live band, and we'll continue to be a live band until I can't play anymore. Because of my recording studio, I recorded for many other people, for many other nationalities, and Italian and Polish and Spanish and Romanian and Greek, all kinds of nationalities. And I'm on all these albums with them, and the last count was 178 different CDs. But as far as my own Budhuny and my own Ron Cahute Budhuny and my own stuff with the folk music and everything, I think the last count was, I think I've got 31 CDs, 30 or 31. We're working on a new Budhuny album because it's been 11 years, and a new Kozak album, and Ihor Baczynski, my coom, and I are doing a new comedy album. So there's 3 new records there that are going to be out in the not too distant future, probably, hopefully for the spring festival season we'll have them out. I think this next album will have some English songs on it, with Ukrainian flavor, but still English stuff that I've written or relatives have written. My father wrote one of the songs I'm going to be doing on it, and so we're probably going to put something like that together.
Another man has to die and let him find his glory beneath the sky, so you can hear him out. And why he had to die that way? There was nothing as too high a price to pay. Still lives on in the hearts of millions today.
Budhuny is known in Ukraine. Budhuny is very, very well known in Ukraine. I hear stories from people who say that they go to Ukraine and they go into a record store and they ask the guy if they want to take something home that typifies, Ukrainian folk music and Ukrainian polka and zabava music. And these people in Ukraine are trying to sell them Budhuny live in Edmonton. And this one friend of mine, he says, I don't want this album. He says, I know the guys. Give me something Ukrainian. So it's a unique sound to them. It's a unique sound to those in Ukraine. And I'm dealing with a lot of Ukrainians now and meeting a lot here at Uno. And they all know of the band, and it's diametrically different than the music coming out of Ukraine now, and so it can't even be compared because it's so different. The Western Ukrainian music as opposed to the stuff coming from Eastern Europe, so it has a nice little niche because of that. The album sales are huge, but unfortunately we don't see any of that because of just the way things are, and etc. But a lot of people, but even now with downloading, it's so weird. You go onto iTunes and you type in search engine Budhuny or Ron Cahute, and 3 pages of stuff comes out. So somebody's uploading this stuff, and it's great. So we're going to take advantage of that. We've got our website will be up and running probably by Christmas, and we're going to have ringtones. because a lot of people have wanted to fly Kozak or Sampiu as a ringtone. Why they'd want it, I don't know, but God bless their little hearts. So we're probably going to put up some ringtones and hopefully YouTube pictures. I'm on YouTube now, but it's stuff from 20 years ago when I still had hair, and I'd like something a little more current when I don't have any hair, so that this is the way I look now. But yeah, we're still doing it, and we're still gonna, so long as the Ukrainians like the music, we'll keep doing it because we love it. It's certainly not what our living. We can't really survive on it just because the market is a little bit small as far as a living is concerned. But we sure have a good time doing it. We're gonna do it until I drop dead.